I'm the 28th ranked rep player in 2K25, and I'm one of the best guards on the entire game. So today, I'll be revealing my dribble moves, and I'll also be doing an advanced hand cam dribble tutorial. If you want to become one of the best dribblers in the game, you've came to the right place. Subscribe if you haven't already. I'm on the road to 800,000 subscribers, and the only way I can get there is by you guys clicking the red subscribe button. In return for you subbing, I'm telling you all of the dribbling secrets that the best guards don't want you to know. Also, I stream almost every day on Twitch, twitch.tv/solo_. If you want to see me going crazy with these dribble moves, link in the description. Come through, say what's good, and drop a follow. Code SOLO in Underdog Fantasy gives you this Matthew Stafford 1-yard special for tonight. If you're signing up down the line, you'll get a special like this LeBron James 1-point special. Underdog's a lot of fun. It's higher or lower on your favorite player's stats, and as you guys can see, I made 8 different picks. You can make up to 8 picks. 8 correct picks would turn my $20 into over $1,000. So if you think you know what players are going to go off on what night, then put your sports knowledge to the test and hop on Underdog Fantasy. They have pretty much every single sport. They also have fantasy drafts for daily, weekly, and yearly for like pretty much every single sport. Remember, you have to sign up a code SOLO that'll also give you up to $1,000 in bonus credit along with the free 1-yard or 1-point special. Sign up today. Let's have some fun, but be sure to play responsibly. What's up, guys? It's Solo back with another video, and as you guys can see, I am a veteran 3 purple tier 99 overall gold player, and this season my record is about 845, which equates to about a 95% win percentage, and you guys can see I'm shooting about 66% from 3 this season. In case you were wondering, for all the dribble moves and the dribble tutorial at the end of the video, this is the build that I play on pretty much for all my games. And now it's time for the part of the video that a lot of you guys clicked on it for, and that is going to be for the dribble moves. Now, most of you guys probably know every single build can't get every single dribble move. It depends on your ball handle and also your height. So I'm going to tell you what I use on my 6'2 build with a 96 ball handle, which unlocks pretty much every single dribble move. But I'm also going to give you guys some low ball handle options or also some options for taller builds. And of course, make sure to subscribe if you guys haven't already. The best dribble style in the entire game is Darius Garland. You guys can see the requirements in the bottom left-hand corner. Speed of ball 85 plus and height under 6'5". Now, if your speed of ball is lower than this, or maybe you're on a taller build, there are some other options like Zach LaVine is another solid dribble style. Kobe White is another one that I've heard a few people using. And then DeJounte Murray is another one that I used, especially earlier on this year. The best signature size up in the game is going to be Steve Francis, but you get this when you are a starter for reps. So a lot of you guys will not have this yet. And the requirements are pretty crazy. You need a 95 plus ball handle. You got to be under 6'5". This is why a lot of people are making new builds once they reach starter 4 that have a 95 ball handle. So on this build, I do use Steve Francis, but another really good option is Trae Young. However, you do need a 92 plus ball handle. I mean, we are talking about the best dribble moves in the game, so obviously a lot of them are going to require you to have a high ball handle. And you could try, if you have a lower ball handle on a small build, is like Darius Garland. And for my taller builds, you guys can try Drew Holiday signature size up. You could also try Jimmy Butler signature size up, and one that I don't have bought is Cade Cunningham signature size up. Regular breakdown combo is a move that really doesn't matter. I use De'Aaron Fox on my build. If you're a taller build, you might want to try Kobe White or Cade Cunningham. If you can't get any of these, it doesn't really matter. You could just throw on whatever looks good to you, because this doesn't really matter too much when we're talking about comboing up. Now, for my aggressive breakdown combo, I do use Ja Morant. So if you are a small guard and you have an 86 or higher ball handle, I recommend you put this on. I'll show you how to use it later in the dribble tutorial. Same with all the moves I'm showing you guys. So although I'm giving you guys these moves, you probably don't know how to use them or trigger them correctly. So I'm going to show you how to trigger literally every move I'm telling you to put on right now. And if you're a taller build and you can't get Ja Morant, then one that you could try is Kevin Durant or also Jason Tatum. Both of those are pretty solid. Escape moves is very, very important, especially with how I dribble. So Stephen Curry is the escape moves that I have on. You need a 92 plus ball handle. You got to be under 6'5". Another solid one is Trae Young. It's the same exact requirements as Steph Curry, but I prefer Steph Curry. And then if you're on a tall build, I'd probably recommend Jimmy Butler escape moves. For my combo moves, I have on Kyrie Irving, although I never trigger this at all, and I don't think it really matters. So you guys could just throw on whatever you really want to. The crossover that I use is De'Aaron Fox. However, I believe you get this at starter for reps. So a lot of you guys will not have this, but a really solid one is Austin Reeves. And you can get this on pretty much every single build because you only need a 70 ball handle and you got to be under 6'10", which pretty much every single dribbling build is. Behind the back is very, very important. I use it pretty much every single play. And the one that I've been using is Trae Young. You need a 92 plus ball handle and you got to be under 6'5". And if you guys haven't noticed by now, pretty much for all the best dribble moves in the game, you need at least a 92 ball handle, and then there are some like Steve Francis where you need a 95, but pretty much if you're like a small guard, your build should have a 92 ball handle. And if it doesn't, you're missing out on a lot of very crucial dribble moves. Now, if you don't want to use Trae Young, you guys could probably try out Darius Garland. This one only requires an 84 ball handle, and I do know some people that, you know, they have like a 95 ball handle, but they still like Garland over Trae Young, so you might want to try out both of them. I like Trae Young though. And then if you're on a tall build, I'd probably recommend using Kawhi Leonard behind the back. I don't really do spins ever, but I've heard Terry Rozier's pretty good. I don't know if they patched it, because I know you could do that like Steezo 720 spin or something with this, but I never really did it. So you guys could either use basic or Terry Rozier, or if you're on a taller build, I heard pro is pretty good. For my hesitation, I'm using Darius Garland. However, a lot of people do use Tyrese Halliburton, especially if you're on a taller ISO build, then you should probably use Tyrese Halliburton, because you can't even get Garland. Step back is very important, so you guys definitely want to put on the right one. I use Zach LaVine. This gives you like the best snatch back animation, which I'll show you how to use and use to the best of your ability later on in the video. A lot of top guards also do use Trae Young, which gives you a different type of snatch back. I might show that at the end of the video. You guys can test out both of these, LaVine and Trae Young. And then another pretty good one is Luka Doncic, especially if you're on a taller build. You guys can see height under 6'10" for Luka, but LaVine is also under 6'10", so I would use LaVine even on like a 6'6" or a 6'9" that can dribble. I'd still go with LaVine. For my triple threat style, this doesn't really matter too much, but I have on MJ. And a lot of you guys probably thought that we were done with the dribble moves, but we're not. Make sure you have on Kyle Lowry hop jumper. Now, you do need to be a small guard for this, so sorry to you guys that are 6'6", 6'8", whatever, if you're a taller build. In season 1, patch 1, whatever you want to call it, we were using Jordan Clarkson hop jumper, and we were getting some glitchy moves. Now, Kyle Lowry hop jumper, this allows you to do the Rari slide, which some of you guys might, you know, you might have heard that before. It's a really good move, and I'm gonna show you guys how to do that in a second. Okay, now before we jump into the dribble tutorial, which again is a very important thing for you guys to watch, because now that you have the dribble moves, that's only half the recipe. Honestly, it's not even half the recipe, because the dribble tutorial and learning how to actually use the moves and get open with them is more important. But first, make sure to subscribe, of course, make sure to sub up. But I want to show you guys some settings, because I know people are going to ask me about these if I don't show them. Now, there's really nothing in the settings, but you know, I know people want to see them. Where there is going to be stuff is going to be in the controller settings. Now, a lot of this stuff has to do with like shooting and layups and stuff like that. Make sure your pro stick function is on default, and then pro stick orientation, make sure that's on absolute. And if I scroll down, you guys can copy down the rest, although I didn't even really change any of this. And the last thing you need to know before we jump into the dribble tutorial is gonna be about Gatorade, because we know stamina is very important. If you're dribbling a lot, you're gonna be losing out on stamina. If you press start, go to progression, then go to get boost, you guys can see, you know, skill boost is right here. We do have ball handling boost for 1500 for a 10 pack. I don't recommend you buy this at all. You guys can see I only have jump shot boost bought. And then you guys can also see on the bottom there, I have no Gatorade bought. I don't really ever play with Gatorade. Maybe if I'm playing stage, I'll buy Gatorade and I'll buy the thirst quencher one, the one in the middle. But you guys can see on the right side, additional turbo meter is active under the weekly workout. How you get the additional turbo meter is by going to the Gatorade training facility. You guys can see Workout Warrior right there in the bottom right hand corner. I have that. It takes a few weeks to get that. You guys can see Workout Warrior unlocked. And you guys can see I get 99 stamina, all available body types, permanent additional turbo meter. So if you're brand new to the game, you probably don't know about this, but you need to come here and you need to do 4 workouts per week. You pretty much need to do every single workout. You guys can see you could do 4 different workouts per week and get 3 stars or better on all of them. It's not too hard to do, but you do need to lock in. There is also a practice option. So if you don't know how to do one of these, I'd practice it first. Make sure you're able to get 3 stars before you do your actual turn at it. And then once you get 3 stars on 4 different workouts, you get an additional turbo meter, which really helps out when we talk about our stamina, when we talk about our dribbling, and of course that's going to help us make more shots. Okay, it is now time for the dribble tutorial, and I need you guys to lock in. I'm going to try and simplify a lot of these moves as much as I can, because I know how complicating dribble tutorials can be, how hard they are to understand, especially depending on the video you're watching. But I'm going to try and make it very simple. Now, if you do have on the Darius Garland dribble style, if you're a taller build, you can't get that, but that is what I use, and that is how I do my speed boost, like that, or like that right there. Like if you have on a different dribble style, your player is going to kind of walk, like you're almost going to be just walking with the ball. You're going to be kind of confused, like why am I not running fast? That's because you pretty much need the Darius Garland dribble style to run out of moves at a high speed. And so majority of the time, I'm just doing a crossover and sprinting out of it to get the best speed boost. That's pretty much how I run out of every move. Even if I'm doing like some crazy combo and I'm dribbling like this or something. Hold on. Bang, bang. I always end up like doing a crossover and running out pretty much like 90% of the time. If you don't know how to do a crossover, that's pretty simple. You're just flicking the right stick, basically top right, or if you want to go to the left, you're flicking that right stick to the top left. And so right after you do that, you just want to sprint in that direction. Now the next thing I'm going to show you guys is going to be the curry escape, and it looks just like this. Now remember how we were doing the crossover? You just flick to the top left, or you flick to the top right with that right stick. This time you do that, but you hold the sprint button. So you're holding turbo, you're holding the right trigger, and it'll play out the animation like that. I never let the animation fully play out, but what you could do is cancel out of it with a crossover and run the other way right away, just like I did. So I'm standing still, the ball's in my left hand, so I'm gonna wanna cross to the right. We're holding the sprint button. This is gonna activate the Stephen Curry escape move, hezzy, whatever you wanna call it, the long hezzy. And I'm just gonna push my right stick to the right, and then right away, cancel out of it. Now right there, I got a little crossover, but still, it got the job done. Hold on, let me do the right animation right here. That's the one you're looking for, and then you do a crossover right away, back the other way, and run out of it. And then I can even do this off the behind the back. You guys see right there, like I'll be comboing up, wait for it behind the back, then I cross the other way, run out of it. Speed boosting in 2K25 is a little bit weird. You know, if you first hop on the game, you're going to be confused. You're going to be like, the dribbling slow. I don't know how to run fast. I don't know how to dribble fast. I don't know how to speed boost. It's because you can only do it off certain moves. So like I'm doing the behind the back crossover, running out of it. I don't even have adrenaline, so this is looking a lot slower, but you got what I'm saying. You know, the Steph Curry escape. Hold on, I messed it up right there. Steph Curry escape, cross out of it, speed boost out. And if you don't know how to do the behind the back, this year it's a little bit different, because if you're just standing still and, you know, let's say you played previous 2Ks, right? The behind the back is different, because if I try and do it, especially with certain moves, it'll look kind of weird like that, right? I'm holding the sprint button and my right stick is going diagonally down right. So imagine the stick as a clock. It will be like 430 on the clock if the ball's in my left hand. So I'm going like 430 on the clock, and it's only doing that. Now, the animation you're probably trying to get is that one if you don't know how to get it. Basically, you got to do a dribble move first to do the good behind the back. So you can do like a crossover, then the behind the back right away, and it gives you the good one. But if you're just standing still and you try to do it first move, it gives you the bad one like every time. Or another thing you could do is you could flick to the right. So I believe the Darius Garland hesitation, which looks just like this, which is you're just standing still, hold the sprint button, flick your right stick to the right, same ball hand like that. But you could cancel out of it right away. So I'm doing the hesitation, then the behind the back right away. So that's one way you could do it, kind of just standing still, but you got to do the hesitation first. It doesn't even look like I'm doing it because I'm canceling out of it like right away. So you just flick, I'm going to flick left with the right stick and then do the behind the back right away. And then also you can spam the behind the back by doing this. So I go right, hesitation, hesitation, then do it again. It's probably a little bit confusing, but basically I'm just doing hezzy behind the back, hezzy behind the back, and I'm just spamming that. The next move everyone needs to know is the Zach LaVine snatchback, which looks just like that. Now, you can really cook defenders by doing this, especially if you're comboing up. You act like you're going to drive in, snatchback, they go flying into the paint, easy, wide open three for you. But a lot of the time, I'll just throw it into my combos. And again, I always like to run out with that crossover with the Darius Garland dribble style. Okay, so now I have on the Trae Young step back, which gives you this animation when you try and snatch back. And how to snatch back, you just hold the sprint button, so hold turbo, right trigger, and then just flick the right stick down. It's very simple, and this is the animation you get. So it's not like a lot of the other snatchbacks. It looks a little bit different. It's almost like a little hop. If you play 2K16, a lot of people kind of dribble like that. Like there's a lot of like hops. So yeah, this one's pretty good. I know a lot of the top guards use this, but also a lot of the top guards use LaVine. So it's kind of personal preference. If you want this kind of animation, it's a little bit more glitchy, but I don't know if it's more effective. So that's why I like LaVine. Then we have the Ja Morant aggressive breakdown combo, which looks just like this if you let the animation fully play out. But again, with a lot of these animations, we're canceling out of it basically right when the move starts. And last year, you could do a glitchy like 360 spin off this that I'm pretty sure you can't do in this game. And I don't really do this move that much, but what I'll do is I'll do it, and then once it hits that point, I'll like cancel out of it. So once it plays for like a second like that, then I could do the crossover out of it or do something, just anything out of it really. I could do that, and then behind the back. That's actually a good combo that I do a lot, is the Ja behind the backs. But you gotta wait, you gotta let it develop a little bit, you know what I'm saying? So you're just gonna flick up on the right stick. So you're holding turbo, flick up on the right stick to let this activate, let this play out. And then once it hits, like I want to do it, right? And it's going to go to the left. The ball's going to go to the left. Once I see it reach that farthest point to the left, right there, that's when I combo out of it. That's when I do like a behind the back or something out of it, like a crossover. But yeah, that's not one of the moves that I use too much, but you can see it right there. Bang. That's me mixing it into the combos. The next move I'm going to show you guys is going to be using the Kyle Lowry hop jumper. This is the Rari slide. It looks just like that. So Usually you do it when you're like running into the corner to basically fake out the defender. I'm dead right now, so it might not look as good, but like I'm faking out the defender. They think I'm running that way. Bang. All of a sudden I'm coming back to the top of the key. If you play stage, you'll see a lot of the stage cards doing this move. You'll be comboing up and then they're bang, just running the other way. You see me? Just like that. And how you do this, if you're running right, you just want to do a hop jumper. So you want to hold the right stick to the left. Or if you're running this way, you want to hold the right stick to the right. You're basically pulling yourself back with the right stick. So I'm running this way, I'm going to pull the right stick back to the left. Or if I'm going to run left, right now I'm going to do it on the left wing. You're sprinting, so you're always holding the sprint button, and the right stick, you're going to pull that to the right. So I'm running, right stick, pull that to the right. If I'm running this way, right stick is going to be pulled to the left, and basically you just pull it till the animation stops playing. If you try and flick it, I don't know, it'll just be a dribble move. You got to activate the hop jumper and really hold that stick in the direction. The hop jumper, by the way, is terrible. So if you let the animation play out, like look at this, it's really slow. It's bad, right? We're only using this for the dribble move. The next thing I'm going to show you how to do is going to be the LT cancel, which looks just like that. You kind of glide across the floor on a dime, and if you mess it up, it'll look like that. It'll be a slower one. It's all about timing with the LT cancel. This is kind of more of an advanced move. Like if you're trying to really be one of the best guards in the game, you would want this in your arsenal, but it's not something that like an everyday park player would need, and it's kind of hard to get down. Basically, when you're running, and I still don't even get it every single time just because the timing's tough, you want to hold the left trigger right before you do your move. So I'm gonna hold left trigger right before I do my Steph Curry escape, which looks just like this. I showed you how to do it earlier. Again, you're holding the sprint button, flick the right stick to the right, a little bit up and to the right, and it'll play out the Steph Curry, you know, long hesitation, just like that. So when you're running in, you want to hold left trigger and then do it, and it's going to take a couple tries to get the timing down. Again, you're probably going to mess it up. And hold on, right there, I was just in the post up. See, it's all about timing. Like if you hold left trigger, it's going to post up, but if you do the move right after you hold the left trigger, you will get that glide animation. Right there, I got the bad one. So right there, I got the good one, right? And you could crab your defender a lot with it, or you could just combo out of it. And then something like a pro tip I gotta tell you guys, and shout out to y'all if you guys are still watching, because I know a lot of people already dipped. They took the dribble moves and they dipped. They're not gonna get this info. But a pro tip is learn all of these moves by themselves. Like a lot of you guys will see me dribbling, you're like, bro, how is he doing that? Like how is Solo moving like this? He's moving so fast, I could never. At least that's what like a lot of the comments on my stream say. But really, I'm just doing the simple moves that I showed you, like the crossover, or the behind the back, and again, Hezi, then behind the back, or the Ja Morant into a behind the back, or you know, a behind the back spam, something like this. Like it's very simple moves, and then I just learned to combo them together. It takes a little time. Obviously your combos are going to get cleaner as you learn. I could try and show you like a few combos, like crossover into the behind the back. That's a very simple one that is very effective, honestly. Or like the Ja Morant aggressive breakdown into the behind the back. But a lot of these, you just kind of have to read your defender, see how he's playing you, and then just, I don't know, you got to learn how to utilize them. It takes practice. Just get in the my court, get in the lab, and start practicing comboing all these moves together. Subscribe if you guys are still watching. I'm trying to make you guys the best possible 2K player you can be. If you want my jump shot and shooting tips, I'll put a link to that at the top of the description, along with some other helpful videos. And if you guys didn't see, I played with the real Jason Tatum in the park, so click that video. It'll be popping up your screen right here.